Welcome to the Real Board Loft and Season 3 of Under the Glass. I'm Trip Foreman. We have Brett Barley with us. Brett, welcome.
What's up, y'all?
And we're here to talk with you about Season 3 and also to let you know that we have been listening to the feedback, Season 1 and Season 2. And one thing that you'll see different about Season 3 is the focus on building a quiver. Brett?
And when it comes to building a quiver, typically want to start with small wave boards. Even whether you're advanced or intro, you don't just hop on high performance and step ups. Everything starts with a groveler. So first board we're starting with is the Lost Puddle Jumper OG.
All right, so looking at this board, it's the Lost OG Puddle Jumper 25. The name is a mouthful, so for the rest of the episode, we're just going to say
real.
Puddle Jumper. And this board, started out years ago as the original Puddle Jumper, went through a bunch of different editions, round tails, HPs, pros. But this year, Matt has brought this board back to its OG roots of pure grovel focus, which I think there's a huge audience for because small waves are everywhere around the world year round, right?
We have lots of small waves on the East Coast, and we rode lots of small waves on this board. That was something, it was funny, Trip kept texting us. He's like, there's a little wave today. It's like knee high. Don't not go surf. And so it was actually funny. Jeffrey and I made it our goal to see how small of a wave I could grind on this board. And it went really well.
Jeez. Talk about bad waves.
The very first session I had on it, I hadn't ridden this type of construction from Lost. I hadn't ridden this board before and had a lot of fun from the get-go. In, knee to waist high waves up to stomach high, it felt amazing. Mm-hmm. In the air, it felt really good. I don't typically like doing airs on smaller wide boards like this. Out of all the small and wide boards I've ridden, this one felt the best in the air that I've had. Really responsive, something compared to other grovelers where I feel like you got to draw your turns out more, which is kind of funny, right? It's a small wave. You want to be quick and loose and vertical or whatever. A lot of times in small wave boards, because they're so wide or the tail's so wide, you got to draw your turns out. In this, it felt more like it groveled, but it groveled like a short board in a sense.
Okay, so it was able to do tighter turns in the pocket.
Which could have also been the fins. I messed around with the fins a bunch, but I think the tail's so thin, you're going to be able to go into the details of the construction of this better than me. But I was really impressed. For a groveler, it's best all around. I've been recommending it to people since I got it earlier this year.
You mentioned the fins, Brett. Talk about the fins a little bit because I know, through the course of the 3 seasons, you've been playing around more with.
I'm learning.
Changing the fins. Right now, we got future black sticks, the pivot template.
Yes. So the pivots are something that I started shifting to a lot in the last year and a half. I've had these fins and pivot type fins for forever, but I just didn't like them. But I would try, I think it's just the way I surf, and when I would try and use them in a short board or something, it just didn't fit. In a groveler or in weak waves, they're amazing. And especially the black sticks, I like having the extra flex. I was either riding these or these. The black sticks neutrals, size medium. These have a little bit more rake than the pivots. And I started out with these in this board and it felt good, but it didn't feel I had fun and it felt springy and poppy and I liked it. But when I swapped to these, it just kicked it into another gear and I liked it even better. So highly recommend using pivot type fins for weak and small surf, and especially in a groveler. Because it gives you that looseness that you need. But with all the volume and the way the board's laid out, you still have the buoyancy to ride a fat small wave. 2
quick cheat codes for those of you that don't understand pivot or black stick. Templates and fins, basically the more upright the fin is, the more it's going to fit more turns into a small space. So if you're riding short period beach break, a pivot or small waves, a pivot fin's going to be able to fit more turns in a shorter space. When you go to more rake, that was the neutral fin, that's going to start drawing out your turns a little bit more. If you go to a raked fin, that's going to be drawing out your turns even further. So you want to think pivot in small waves or short period beach break. The neutrals as an all around. The rakes is more drawn out,
speed control
or long point breaks.
Yep.
The other thing going on with this fin with the black sticks is it actually has a negative foil on the inside of the front fins. And what that does is it actually helps you generate more speed out of your turns. So in a board like this, like being ridden in actual small waves, it makes sense to have a fin that's going to help you generate speed.
See, some people know that. It took me all these years to learn it.
Brett doesn't have to know it. He just knows how to surf. The other thing with this board, if we want to get teched out, is the construction. It is Lost Lightspeed 2. Everybody knows what Lightspeed 1 is. Lightspeed 2, they went to a carbonless construction using an EPS core and epoxy resin. The goal of this board is to have a board. It's also stringerless too, so there's no wood stringer down the middle of the board. The goal of this board and this construction is to have it be light and springy, again, to help you generate speed. And also to mimic the weight and the feel, like the flex and the rebound of a pro level, like single glass board, like one layer of glass on the top and bottom, but not have it be a throwaway board. So this is a board that you've had for,
I mean,
coming up on a year.
Definitely, grovelers take a beating. You do a lot of hopping. And I've pounded on the deck of this thing, and it still doesn't look like I've surfed it a whole lot, at least in relation to what most of my boards look like.
So the deck durability is also really good on Lightspeed 2. Brett, let's jump into your height, your weight, and the dimensions on the board.
Yep. So I'm 5'9", roughly 165, 165 pounds for everyone else in the world, not kilograms. This board is 5'3" by 19 3/4 by 2.4. It's 28 liters.
And like, as far as like the volume on this board versus your short boards, is it the same volume or a little bit more?
So this board is about 1.5 liters more than my short boards.
Okay.
So originally when I got it and when we were trying to pick out, because we get stock dims. That way I'm riding what y'all will be riding. I remember looking at the dims list and was kind of like, oh, is it a little too big? But the next size down was a little too small for a groveler. And knowing that it's in this construction and it's going to be light, I wasn't necessarily worried about adding volume because you're going to be able to whip it around. And that for me is the main thing, is like, I don't want to be trying to like blow the tail and do airs and stuff with a board that's heavier, or even if it's not much, that extra weight you feel in the nose and whatnot.
Right.
So for 28 liters, it's insanely light. And I actually, until this moment, forgot that it was that many liters. It felt more like 27.25 or something in relation to other boards I've ridden. So, and I'm saying that in the sense of weight and maneuverability, not in the sense of buoyancy. It was more buoyant. It was easier to ride than a lot of grovelers I've had that are, 27. So I think it's one of those things for me. I found out like, I can go up a little bit higher than I previously thought.
Because of the weight.
Yeah, and it gives you more. It gives you more forgiveness. That's what I was looking for.
Okay.
It gives you more forgiveness to have that extra buoyancy and that extra volume in small waves. Because the last thing if you're just going out and cruising and want to have fun, last thing you want to do is be bogging and digging rail because you're on too small of a board. So I would always, when it comes to small wave boards, size up just a little bit. Like if you kind of fall between those dimensions and you're not sure what to get, always size up. Don't size down. So.
Right. And then let's talk about the range of surf and the type of surf that you rode this board. Because again, like our number one feedback last year was like, okay, let's have Brett surfing some actual small waves, not like chest high small waves, but like Folly Beach small waves and like Hilton Head small waves. Like what was the smallest that you rode this board in?
I feel like the smallest I rode was below knee high. I didn't catch below knee high wave, but I rode the wave until it was below knee. I was trying to ride it just as far as I could.
Okay.
And go QS grinder status on it. Harness my inner Michael Dunphy. That's what I'd been surfing with him a bunch, and I was like watching him surf small waves. I was like, all right, how small wave can I surf? Like I'd surfed with him in Florida this year.
Yeah.
So yeah, we pushed it and it went well. And then I would say into the upper range, I don't think I rode it on a wave any bigger than like chest or shoulder high. And I would say in that range, it wasn't actually even in the size. It was more the steepness.
Yeah.
Even in smaller waves, when it got really steep and punchy, because it's so flat, it did struggle a little bit more. Like, it's meant for softer surf. Here where we live, you can have knee-high barreling waves.
Exactly, yeah.
And so in that instance, you get a little stuck with having such a flat nose. But yeah, in fat surf up to chest high, it was just super fun. And that's what it's for. It's for chest high and under, chest shoulder high and under. I wouldn't recommend riding it any bigger than that unless it's like just fat, like some just really mushy point break or something.
What
mushy
about
beach break.
Brett, what about like ease of use and like accessibility to people that are looking at this board? Like, was it hard, like, you know, for people under your ability level, was it a hard board to surf? Or
No,
would you think
not
it'd
at
be
all.
really approachable? And
No,
like, who would you recommend it to?
Yeah, I mean, I would recommend this to anybody, whether you're like top tier level of surfing or bottom tier, don't even own a short board yet. It's very entry level, like it's super easy to like I said, hopping on this board from the first session to even now, like I always throw it in my truck in the summertime. Super easy board to ride. No like, oh, you got to draw your turn out like this. And that's what I was saying, other small wave boards I've had in the past, it's like, they work really well, but then you have situations where you're like, oh, you need to kind of baby it through this turn to maintain your speed. And this thing's just one of those boards where it's like, you don't really have to think about it.
Brett, we talked about fins. We're looking at this board right now. It's set up as a thruster. Did you ride it as a quad?
I did not. And that's on me. I'm just not a quad guy. Tons of people like to mix it up back and forth. Some people are just full quad guys. I am a thruster guy. And I honestly hop around on different boards so much that it kind of makes it hard when, you know, I go to hop back on something.
Right.
I don't want to mix it up too much. I'm just a creature of habit. But yeah, so I only rode it as a thruster.
But you did, like we talked about, there's different templates and then also the different fins too.
Yes. And I actually did, I think, try the John mediums in it, and that felt bad.
Okay.
I would not recommend that, like a stiffer fin. I mean, stiffer in relation to these, stiffer, more raked out fin. The more flexy black sticks, vertical pivot fins were definitely where it was at.
Awesome. And then let's end it with our focus this year is on quivers, right? Season 3, and it's all the focus on the quiver. Where does this fit? I mean, obviously it's a groveler, right?
Yeah.
But like, where does this thing fit in your quiver, like with the rest of your boards?
Just right at the bottom. Like, I would say, you know, summertime, I always put it in my truck because this thing's going to be the easiest thing to show up, and whatever the waves are like, I'm going to have fun. I don't have to, you know, be like, oh, I should have put that other board in there. Or like, if I don't want to have to think about it, then I just throw this one single board in and go.
And then it goes.
Yeah.
It goes well. Awesome, Brett. Thank you so much. Season 3, Under the Glass, starting out with the original Puddle Jumper 25 from Lost Surfboards. If any of the viewers out there have any questions on the original Puddle Jumper 25, man, that is a mouthful, or would like to purchase one, you can always reach us at the shop, 252-987-6000, or look us up online, realwatersports.com/surfing. Thanks for tuning in.